not recall that specific thing. But yeah, that's good. I call to order the Rosemont City Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, October 24th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions to tonight's agenda?
None, Madam Chair.
Is there any input from the audience on items that are not on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes 2 items this evening: the minutes of the September 26, 2023 regular meeting and a request by SKB Environmental for approval of the SKB Rosemont Second Edition Final Plat. Are there any comments or questions on the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I will abstain from the vote. I was not here for the last one.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Madam Chair, yes, I have a requested revision to the minutes.
Okay.
If we want to pull that, I guess, from the consent. Is that how we would do it?
Commissioner Whitman,
Yes.
I mean, is it substantial, or is it something that can just be done as a part of a motion as a part of the approval of the consent agenda?
Sure, I mean, I
Why
can
don't you just
explain
share
right
what you're,
now.
yep,
Yeah,
say
okay.
what it is, and then we'll decide if we have to pull it or if we can do it as part.
Yeah, so there's just a line here under, this was the first item, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's the second item, El Medina Association for a site plan review. And on the third to last paragraph on page 4, there's the last sentence of the paragraph states, Commissioner Whitman commented that the parking and site conditions are reasonable given the use. I don't recall ever saying that. That wasn't any, position I made or statement I made. I questioned, I made a comment about the parking conditions making sure that they're consistent across different uses. I recall that, but I never stated that they're reasonable, flat out stated that. I would suggest just striking that entire sentence.
Okay. Are there any other comments or concerns with removing that? Okay. I think we can just do that as part of the motion for the consent agenda then. Any other comments or questions on the consent agenda?
Yes, Madam
Yes?
Chair. I do have a question. I reached out to staff and just wanted to get some clarification on the other item as well.
Okay.
Should I elaborate on that?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to pull it from the consent agenda and talk further about it, or if you want to just share your thoughts now.
Can we pull it? Maybe it just makes sense to pull that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions on the consent agenda? So with that, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda containing the minutes of the September 26, 2023 regular meeting. The item B on the consent agenda has been pulled with the modification to the minutes on page 4, striking the last sentence at the bottom of paragraph 3 where it states Commissioner Whitman commented that the parking and site conditions are reasonable given the use.
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Kenninger, seconded by Commissioner Powell. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to the second item then of the consent agenda, which is a request by SKB Environmental for approval of the SKB Rosemont Second Edition Final Plat. And Commissioner Whitman, why don't you go ahead with your questions on that, and we'll have Julia address them.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I noticed when I was reviewing the staff report on page 8, the paragraph that has the title Land Use and Zoning, there's a couple sentences in there. It states the planned unit development agreement that covers development of the site was approved in 2018. Their plans have since changed. The only relevant provision in the agreement is the ability to construct multiple buildings on a single parcel. I reached out to staff to ask for a copy of that agreement to see if this is okay in relation to that agreement. And it wasn't quite clear to me whether that agreement is still in place or not. or whether it does still govern. And so if you can just provide some clarification on that, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, so, so that PUD area is the land west of this final plat area. So, we haven't heard back from the city attorney quite yet in regards to that, but, moving forward, when they do have to come back for a site plan review for those future buildings that they will be, reconstructing on the northern end of the site, that will be looked into, as that is more of a purview under that PUD area. This final plat area is outside of that PUD area.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that agreement doesn't govern this matter?
exactly.
tonight?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Yep.
Great, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Welcome. Are there any other comments or questions on the application by SKB?
Madam Chair, I'd move approval of the final plat for SKB second edition, subject to the 6 conditions stated in the staff report.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Powell, seconded by Commissioner Reed. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Does this item move forward to City Council? No.
Correct. As a
It
final
does.
plat.
Okay, do we have a date on it? It doesn't have it on the,
The standard schedule, Madam Chair, would be the second regular meeting of the
Okay.
city council the following month.
thank you. I'm used to them being on the executive summary. I missed it. Sorry about that. Okay, so they would be the second Monday of the month. Did you just say?
The second meeting, which would be the third Tuesday of the month.
The third Tuesday of the month. Okay, so this will move forward to City Council on the third Tuesday of November. I apologize, I don't have that date, but that's okay. Okay. Is there any old business this evening? No. And we have no public hearings, new business,
No, Madam Chair.
discussion. Adam, did you have a discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair, the only thing I'll add, and this can probably even tie into your comment about the next meeting or where this would be heard on the city council agenda, residents should be watching for the current edition, the fall newsletter. Staff and city council have continued to put a lot of information in here regarding development process, how it takes place. Tonight is the planning commission meeting for all those that may be watching. Oftentimes, recommendations from the planning commission then proceed to the city council at one of their upcoming meetings. Those will be published on the website and in other places where appropriate for any public notices that would be given. So just calling attention to that because there is a lot, I think the title is appropriate here, but it's titled The Winding Path of City Planning and Community Development. A lot of insider information in terms of how things take place. There's a lot of nuance in there. But just, we encourage our residents and anybody who would be watching to kind of keep an eye on our website, take a look at this, and feel free to reach out to staff or, of course, any of your elected officials with any questions.
I'll just say, I read the advanced copy. I thought it was really well done. I really appreciated the way it was described about the concept we did and how, what the final product is not, it's not a specification. That was very helpful, I think.
Thank you.
Good job. Any other discussion items?
No, Madam Chair.
Julia did share before that you've done a calendar, right? For the 2024 meetings, and you'll send that out?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so please watch your emails, Alicia or Julia, sorry. Alicia or Julia will send that calendar out. Outside of just the normal fourth Tuesday, the March and December dates for 2024 have been rescheduled slightly, so take a look at that and please provide any feedback or concerns you have with that schedule. And then I will just quickly review our next meeting dates. November 28th is our regular Tuesday meeting. Monday, December 18th. So just a reminder that that is a Monday and an earlier week than normal. And then January 23rd is our first meeting in 2024. Okay, anything else from the commission? Okay, with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Meeting adjourned.